Hey everybody, welcome to our TGM community interview. Today we're going to be interviewing the organization Roses for Mary. So they're going to join us here in a sec and we'll dive right into that interview. Okay, let's see. Thanks a few of you have joined us live. That's awesome. So excited to see you. Okay, hey guys. Thanks for being here. This is great. Love it. Love all the waves. Hey mom, my mom's on. Awesome. Okay. This is great. So, they're obviously going to tell us all about what they do and where they came from and kind of their background and where they got this idea and stuff. But I think they're a relatively new organization. They are, I believe, local to the Dayton area, if I understand correctly. And ironically, so small world, my little sister is friends with one of their best family friends, I think is the connection. So we actually know each other or know of each other through a kind of a small world connection. So it's going to be neat to talk a little bit more about that too. Okay, let's see. So I see you guys have joined. Awesome.
All right. How you doing?
Okay.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, well, I don't know if anyone could hear anything. Can anybody hear what I was saying earlier? I might have just been talking to myself.
No, I heard you earlier.
Okay.
I heard you earlier before I joined, so it was working.
Awesome.
Which is it made me think of something else that is really funny. So did you used to work at McGowan Bread Vendor?
Yeah, yes.
So Julie, who's on our board, she works at McGowan.
Yes.
And because we're trying to become a religious organization, 501c3, and you have to have a board. Well, if we need more people, I know someone we can ask. She's so great, and she would be perfect to be a part of it. And I was like, she texted me the other day. She's like, "You're going to interview with the person I was talking about." That was hilarious. So
what a small world. That's so cool.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that later then. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great.
Cool. So yeah, I'm Lauren. It's nice to, I guess, virtually meet you.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm Mike Bishop. Yep.
Mike, and it's you and your wife that do this, right?
So it's actually my wife is, and a part of it, but it's her brother, John, on it, and Julie Starr.
Cool.
So
yeah.
And so it's all her siblings basically.
Cool.
So right now we have 3 people on the board, which is what you need to start the thing. And we've been kind of just coming up with ideas as we go and looking for Marys wherever we drive.
Yeah. So I guess start with the basics. So like, where did you come? What is it that you do? What is your mission? And kind of where did you come up with that idea?
So the whole idea came up with a little bit earlier in the crazy year of 2020. There were some Blessed Mothers that were being pushed down to the ground, desecrated, and I watched Taylor Marshall a lot, and he was broadcasting this.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah.
Anywhere on the news, and so I was like, well, I'll just start praying the rosary and ask for reparations against that. And but I was driving through a neighborhood, and a Blessed Mother was lit up. It was dark, but she had a spotlight on it, and I was praying the rosary just driving through this neighborhood, and it was like instantly the idea came into my head of like, okay, here's what you can do. You can go to houses, drop flowers off with a letter of encouragement, spread the rosary. And I was like, it was a crazy moment when it happened. I was like, oh my gosh, this would be so simple to do.
Yeah.
And more people involved. So that's the basics of how I started with
So
the
it's finally inspired, it sounds like.
exactly, yeah, exactly, because it was like as soon as I looked at that the Blessed Mother, which is why it's so powerful to have one in front of your house too. You know, just the
Um,
presence of having her, right, is
yeah,
always going to work on you, and she's going
that's
to take you.
yeah, that's a really good point. So okay, so take us through what you do step by step. So you just do you just see a statue when you're driving down the street, or how does the process work?
So there's probably two ways to go around if you wanted to get involved for anyone that would be watching.
Yeah.
One way is probably the easier way is on a normal day while you're driving through your neighborhood, just look for a Blessed Mother, right? Just from house to house, see if you see one, and if you see one, then you can go to the website where you can print the letter, right? And then buy roses. And then it's very easy to just swing by that house the next time you pass it, drop the roses there with the letter in an envelope, and you let that kind of it'll do the rest. You don't need to go knock on the door and say, "Hey, I just dropped this off." You
Right.
can just let that do it itself.
Cool.
Or the other option is and uh, the RFM crew, I guess what I would call it, or our board. Every now and then we'll meet up together and we'll just go on a drive with roses and a bunch of letters in our car, and we just go from one neighborhood to the next, kind of looking for
Right.
Mary. So that,
Yeah. Very cool.
and sometimes it'll take a little bit to find it, so don't be discouraged, because sometimes you're just driving through and you can never find it. But once you find one, all of a sudden you find another one. So
I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. So that's for everyone that isn't familiar with you. That's kind of just as simple as that. It's a matter of finding a statue of our Blessed Mother somewhere and then wanting to honor it and honor the intention of the people who are exposing her basically, and then you just honor that by giving them a note of encouragement and flowers, and that's kind of the
yep. And then we always like to say too that when you go do your own family rosary, just include them in the prayers. And you never
cool.
know what these other houses are going through. So maybe your delivery that you set at that house had a cute, maybe they just had a family member loss, or they just had, something where they needed some encouragement.
Yeah,
And
wow.
you never know that power of doing something like
Oh,
that.
I'm sure. And the whole praying for them afterwards, that's a really powerful thing that I wouldn't have even thought of as being kind of part of the whole experience. That's really awesome.
Right. And so that's part of this whole, Roses for Mary is to spread the devotion to the rosary, because, it's just such a powerful full tool. And brings your family closer, families that pray together, stay together, and it's we've been on a pretty good roll as our whole family on making sure we say it every day, and it's just
That's awesome. Yeah.
it's it's been great. So we just want to spread that to everyone else too. So maybe people aren't saying the rosary right now, and you doing that delivery might encourage them to pick up the
Right.
beads again and start praying.
Real
So
fire a little bit.
exactly, because every time everyone needs some encouragement here and there. So hopefully this platform can help spread that devotion of the rosary.
So you said you mentioned your website. So is that the best way for people then to find the letter that you have available, or I guess where's the best way to follow along with you guys and get
Correct. Yeah. So the website is probably, it's the best place, which is rosesformary.org.
okay.
And that's where the letter would be. We have a little bit of like history. We have some images on there that show the desecration to the Blessed Mother, which is the sad part. But we also have in another place where people have sent us pictures of getting the Roses for Mary delivery to their house, and we have a place testimony pictures where shows everyone that's had that delivery so far. So
Oh, that's really cool. Okay, so I have to ask, have you ever been caught in the act, or has anything or caught you sneaking up to their front porch with flowers?
yeah, because the lovely the ring will
Yeah.
People say I would say most of the time, no. Most of the time, people do not come up. But myself and Johnny's the legend. Johnny's done probably more deliveries than I have. He goes out, he's great. So we've both been stopped, and they're they're usually just kind of curious, like what you're doing.
Sure.
So having the basic, like, hey, all I'm doing is delivering these roses to try to spread the love of the rosary, and hope you and your family are doing well. You can keep it very simple and short.
Yeah.
And usually, after you tell them, like, hey, I'm just delivering stuff, they're like, oh, that's so great. I don't know if they thought you were gonna beat down on the door or something, but you, as you tell them, it goes really well. So.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Well, that's really cool. I want to make sure I got all my questions for you. Okay, so just kind of on a separate note, personally, do you or your family, do you have any favorite titles of our Blessed Mother or apparitions or images or anything that you guys specifically have a devotion to?
I always like doing Queen of Peace, pray for us, because I think we're probably in a state where, as everyone knows, 2020 was a little crazy. So I think everyone having some peace come to them, I think is great. And then the other one, Fatima, was probably the biggest reason, other than my wife Grace, for coming to the Catholic faith, because before I was actually a Methodist. So yeah. Yeah, so Fatima was a big one for me, and that devotion is great,
Yeah.
Great.
So this kind of like adds a whole new dimension to it then. If you were from a faith that maybe didn't put as much importance on the Blessed Mother as Catholics, and then now all of a sudden, look at you.
Exactly. Yeah, no, and that was, I always thought when I was even Methodist, or maybe I didn't think of it as much until I was starting to become Catholic, was, oh, I wonder why we didn't put more emphasis on St. Joseph and the Blessed Mother, because they spent 30 years with Jesus, so they have a lot more influence than Mark and, the apostles. I only name one, but the four apostles that are written and that everyone knows, right? The gospel,
Yeah.
2-3 years with Jesus, where the Blessed Mother and Saint Joseph, who aren't written about a lot, but we know how much of an impact that they had on Jesus and how Jesus had on them. So,
well, that's great. That's a neat observation. That's cool that you were able, I guess, that influenced or impacted you in your.
Yes. Two other things I wanted to mention too. So we have the whole delivering, right? Delivering. That's probably the main thing of us, is delivering roses and the letter to each individual houses. But also, what we want to do is help more houses get a Blessed Mother with what we call Raffle for Mary. And the idea on that is, as we bring in more money by donations, we're going to be buying Blessed Mother statues, and we have a little raffle that goes on. And if you win, we'll reach out to you via email, and then donate, Blessed Mother. So also help more people have that. And then the third one we have not done yet, but I'm excited to get this one going, is a Roses for Mary rosary procession. So the idea on this, but probably when it gets a little bit warmer over here as well, because the processions would be out. But same as a normal procession, but now what we do is we end at a statue of the Blessed Mother, and everyone would carry roses, and the roses are saying our intentions that we're praying the rosary for. And at the very end of the procession, everyone goes right at our footstep, and by the end of it, you can imagine what a beautiful sight. And maybe you finish the last decade while you're there. So we're really excited to do that. We think it'll be a way to get more people into saying the rosary. asking Mary to help us out
Yeah.
and take us to Jesus. So
Yeah, that's great. And kind of playing up that whole community aspect of prayer in the church too. I mean, that's something we haven't had a lot of. Um,
exactly.
you know,
Right.
yeah. Well, that's great. Is there anything else that
Yes.
you
Yeah.
that you want to on specifically about your mission? I mean, I think so people know where to find you. I'll link the website as well as your Instagram account. Um,
And,
anything? I
and,
guess is there?
and yeah.
Uh, wait, it cut out. A what?
Uh,
Uh-oh.
I think you might have said it. I was going to say if anyone on Instagram that we'll be posting pictures, some updates there, and then and I guess one last thing is if you go onto our website, there's a place that says um, stay in the loop or I don't know what it says now, but something keep in the loop, and you can sign up to be part of the subscription, and that's where uh, we have one email out telling how many houses we've delivered to, which I believe it was like 45 houses, and we just
Oh,
will
wow.
maybe once a month or 3 months we would send out like an update. And so signing up to be part of that subscription, we're not going to send something every day like everyone else, some annoying thing. But so 3 months we give like an update. So it'd be if anyone would want to, that's another good place to go is to the website and do stay.
Awesome. Okay. Well, that's great. Yeah, I think that's all of my questions that I had. We really appreciate you taking the time to come on and just tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing. I think that's such a unique idea, and anyone in the world can, join in on the efforts. So it's really
Right.
awesome
Yeah.
that you were inspired by our Blessed Mother to do this. So thanks for listening to her call.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you for helping us to spread it
Of course.
and for taking the time to interview us. And we appreciate
Awesome.
that. We'd like to make sure to spread it to as many people as we can. So
Yeah, of course. Well, that's great. We'll get this posted on our pages, so hopefully people can start making their own deliveries, and we'll see how many statues we now all start noticing. I'm sure once you start looking for them, you just start seeing them more and more.
It is funny how I would have never thought to look for a statue before doing this, and now and anytime I'm driving, I'm always looking to see and pop up. So
Yeah,
that's the other thing we want, right? We're proud of our faith. So
awesome.
Good
Amen.
deal.
Amen. Well, that's perfect. Well, thanks for coming today,
Yeah.
and thanks everyone for tuning in. And I'll post the link to their website so anyone can check that out whenever they want to get a chance to learn more and get their letters so they can start delivering, huh?
Exactly. Right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right. Have a good weekend.
We'll see you. You too.
Bye-bye.